Hey, Wildcats! In March, we are celebrating women. Remember, International Women's Day is celebrated March 8th, and we are doing that through read-alouds and learning about different women from around the world. Today, I'm pretty sure that both women that we're going to read about come from the United States. The first one is Mary Blair, 1911 to 1978, modern painter and colorist from the United States of America. All right, Mary began her career as a watercolorist. She studied naturalist painting at the Chenard, I'm probably saying that wrong, I'm sorry, Art Institute in Los Angeles, where she met Lee Blair. They fell in love and married, and soon their art styles were indistinguishable from each other. The Great Depression was tough on their art careers, so Mary reluctantly followed Lee into the animation industry. Eventually, they both landed jobs at Walt Disney's animation studio. In 1941, President Roosevelt commissioned Walt Disney to participate in a trip to promote goodwill in South America on behalf of the United States. Walt gathered a group of artists to travel with him. Lee was selected, Mary was not. So she went to Walt's office and successfully made her bid. On the trip, Mary's style exploded. Her watercolors could not capture the vibrancy she saw, so she switched to gouache. It's an art term, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly or not. Gouache, a bright, chalky paint, and began working in a bolder, more whimsical style. She simplified her forms in a sweet, almost childlike way. By the end of the trip, Walt considered Mary his favorite artist. After World War II, Disney hired Mary to do visual development on Cinderella in 1950, Alice in Wonderland in 1951, and Peter Pan in 1953. Her color styling helped set the overall look of each of these iconic films. Mary eventually left the studio and illustrated children's books, worked as an art director, and designed theatrical sets. In 1963, Walt needed help creating a children's pavilion at the 1964-65 New York World's Fair that celebrated children around the world. He knew just who to ask. Mary designed the now iconic It's a Small World ride. It was so popular that Walt had it replicated in his California theme park, Disneyland. Although it is a Disney fixture, the design is totally Mary and a lasting monument to her style. Soft-spoken and mild nature, Mary probably never set out to become a legend, but to many in the fields of art, animation, illustration, and design, she is legendary. I love that. I know some people do not like the Small World ride, but I love it. I can ride it again and again and again. All right, the other person that I picked out is Bessie Griffin, 1914 to 2009, physical therapist and inventor from the United States of America. It says, Bessie did not have an easy childhood, but grew up bright, innovative, and resilient. In school, she was scolded for writing with her left hand. Instead of getting upset, she not only learned how to write with her right hand, but taught herself to write with her feet as well as her teeth. She made the most out of a difficult situation, and it wouldn't be the last time. From an early age, Bessie wanted to help people. So in college, she studied nursing and physical therapy. At the end of World War II, she volunteered with the Red Cross to work with injured soldiers. She was so good with the soldiers. They called her Wonder Woman. She showed those who couldn't use their hands how to write with their feet or teeth as she had when she was a child. She had many ideas for inventions to help her patients become self-sufficient. One idea was a feeding tube that allowed them to control their own eating. Users could bite down to release a piece of food to be delivered to an attached spoon. Bessie built her device with simple supplies, plastic, hot water, a hammer, and received a patent. She offered it to the U.S. Veterans Administration, but they were not interested, so she donated it to the French government. She wanted people to know that a Black woman can invent something for the benefit of humankind. Bessie later worked as a forensic scientist, examining handwriting for law enforcement, and in 1977 she trained at the famous Scotland Yard in England, where officers fondly called her Mom Bessie. She opened her own business, examining and preserving pre-Civil War slave documents, and worked towards opening a museum. In her long life, Bessie achieved many things, but helping others was always her goal. She worked into her 80s, determined to leave a legacy and preserve history to share with future generations. As always, happy reading. I hope that you are enjoying this and maybe getting a little bit of time to research some of these great women. Have a great day. Bye, you guys.